Today we are going to talk about the seat and 3 ways that you can start to work on your seat right away. But is there anything that you think would change in your riding if you were able to improve your seat today? Does anybody want to share why they think it would be important to make that improvement? Perfect. Perfect, Dana. Yeah, yeah. But this is for me one of the biggest things. More stability and more confidence. Right, exactly. Super. Um, I love it. So let's find that. I am gonna read what we talk about the seat. I like to bring this in every time we start talking about the seat. The concept of the seat refers less to actual posture and more to the fact that the rider keeps in the saddle by balance, sits loosely, and has learned to follow the horse's movements. So when we are talking about the seat in this discussion today, we are talking more about, just finding your relaxation, moving with the horse, finding that you can stay with the horse without gripping. And of course, the posture is coming out of that. But we're not talking about that frozen, leg in exactly the right place, feeling like your upper body is exactly perfect, this kind of thing. The seat concept refers less to actual posture and more to the fact that the rider keeps in the saddle by balance, not by gripping, sits loosely, and has learned to follow the horse's movements, the natural movement of the horse, not a manipulated movement, but the natural movement of the horse. And then 3 things that you can do to improve your seat today. And we're talking about not being perfect, but we're talking about improve, to bring into a more desirable condition. So we really want to get away from that idea of trying to be perfect, but more trying to grow and get a little bit better every time we ride. And I think that is a way that we can continue to enjoy our riding and have more feel more fulfillment in it, rather than always trying to strive for perfection and feeling like we're always falling short. So growing is what it's all about. Just trying to be a little bit better than you were yesterday, not trying to compare yourself to others. We have our own journey. So these are always important things to remember when we're learning. So you guys had some awesome ideas, some good reasons to improve your seat. Number 1 is your horse will be happier. So the more relaxed you are, the more you feel that you can stay with their balance, the less you have to grip, the happier your horse is going to be. So for me, that's really number 1. We're all about happy horses. You will work less. So as you start to find your balance and you have to grip less, then your muscles won't get tired as quickly. You'll be able to breathe more easily and bring that oxygen to your muscles as it needs to come. If your horse is not leaning on your hands, if you are not leaning on your hands, then you're not going to have to push the horse through that block so much. So you will be able to work less. These kind of things you're going to notice when your horse gets a little bit stiff or gets a little bit tighter in the reins sooner, because you're going to be going with the motion. So you will work less. You will be able to maintain your balance, independent balance. You'll need your hands less. We talked about that. So as you find your own balance, you won't keep going to your hands each time when you lose your balance. You'll be able to settle that down into your center of gravity. You'll be having that in your mind's eye. You'll be having that conversation with your center, that place between your belly button and your lower back, where you want to be sending all that energy and all that balance to. It won't be up in your shoulders, and you won't be grasping at your hands every time the horse moves funny. You'll need your legs less. So that's another thing. When we first start riding, what do? We hang on with our legs. We think that we have to do that. I actually had a cute conversation with somebody yesterday who they had gone on a vacation and had gone on a long trail ride. And they were all sore the next day, not used to riding all the time, even though they're fit, athletic people. But it's that idea that you need to hold yourself on the saddle that makes you so that the next couple of days your legs are really tired. So the more balance you have, the better you develop your seat. You'll need your legs less for holding on, and then they are able to create the aids that they need to create, instead of holding you in the saddle and then you feel unable to tell the horse what you need to tell them because your legs are already in that constant engaged place. The movements will seem easier. So as you start to move up the levels and your seat is swinging and your seat is staying with the natural movement of the horse, then the actual movements will seem like they flow a lot easier. You won't be riding against the motion, holding on, but you'll be riding with the motion and then taking that and turning it into a shoulder in, taking that swing and turning it into a leg yield or a half pass. So the movements will seem a lot easier, and the transitions will flow. You'll start to be able to find that your seat can be cantering and then swinging into the trot and then staying in the motion of the walk. You won't have to stop everything, wait till the horse gets into the next pace, and then start riding again. You're going to find that flow, and that's going to feel much better for your horse as well, you can imagine. It will be easier to notice when your horse is through. It will be easier to notice when your horse is through, because if you're moving with the horse, if you're following the natural movement of the horse, you don't find that you have to balance in your hands or in your legs, then the second that your horse starts to lean on you, it will become very quickly apparent, and you'll be able to make that half halt. You'll be able to make that aid to bring your horse back in balance, and then be able to move forward in whatever you're doing from that balanced place again. So if your horse is not through, then your seat is going to feel stuck to your hands. And when your horse is through, your seat, your leg, your hand is going to be easily independent. And then if your horse is the one making a mistake, gets out of balance, tries to lean on the hands or one leg or the other, and becomes less supple, less through, you're going to feel it much quicker. And then the correction to get back on track will be able to be much less. It won't have to make a big correction because you're going to find that sooner. And then it'll be easier to notice when your horse is truly in front of you. So if your horse is really going on its own and you make a half halt, the hind legs are going to become more bouncy. They're going to become more carrying. And If your horse is not in front of you, then when you make your half halt, you're going to feel like it gets stuck, like he wants to stop. But if your seat is tight or isn't moving with the horse, then when you are making your half halt and your horse offers to stop, you're just going to start creating this pressure, right? That gripping pressure. Like, if I let go, my horse is going to stop, but he didn't respond yet on the half halt. So when you're really going to be able to notice how is your horse coming to the party when you feel like your seat is more confident. And more moving together with the natural motion of the horse.